Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. Wow, I think I just did something to a tooth and am possibly in danger of getting a toothache. Wow, that's going to really cause some pain. Anyway, I keep getting heaven's truth and I keep speaking it to a people. And I notice that the people are not interested, they're not paying any attention to it. And so I ask periodically the giver of these messages, why am I continuously getting them? And is it required for me to continuously deliver them? The answer that I get is I can make a choice as to whether I deliver them or not. But as long as I have the right spirit, I'm going to get them. And the message that comes to me basically is that the problems in America, the situations that we find ourselves in all the time, is that the American people are deserving of what they are receiving. The school shootings, kids getting killed, black unarmed men being shot down by cops, whites killing whites and blacks killing blacks, the cutting back of the health care program and a cutback on those safety nets for the poor, the crime and violence in the streets. These are all a response to the system of operation here in America. Building walls and closing off borders will not stop that. The most they could do is keep it in America and keep it from spreading out abroad. The Spirit says that this is justice. You know, God in the beginning instilled a law that says that you shall reap what you sow, that the seed is the fruit. And when you're doing that, it is justice, those things that come back to you. It is absolutely justice. And if you want them to change, then you, the people, must change. You must change the seeds that you plant. You must do those kinds of things that would cause a return which you appreciate. The other day I was about to do a piece called Why Did God Choose Me? And I was convicted from a statement like that how bold I could be to think that out of all the human race, God chose me. And so I spoke to the issue of what I got out of that. Today, as I was watching some information, I saw where T.D. Jakes had spoke on the subject, why did God choose me? And he used all kinds of scriptures, and he was telling how wonderful the process is, that God had shaped you, but shaped him before he entered the womb. He knew all of these things about him, the prophecy and all that. And he was also mentioning some books in the Bible where some of these authors spoke to something similar to that. But I'm reminded that as the truth is, as I've delivered it, as I've been given it, is that that is for every individual that comes on the earth. Nobody just happens to pop up. Everyone has a special design. Everyone is unique in the way that has been prepared. And they come to a group of parents here on this earth. But the same thing that T.D. Jakes was saying scripturally about himself, and I hope he wasn't just speaking of himself, I'm hoping he was speaking to all human beings. Everybody's unique. Everybody has a purpose on this earth. And the greatest joy that one has is to recognize that purpose and is able to do it. I say that in order for you to receive the spiritual understanding of what your purpose is here, you have to have a relationship with God. And to do that, you got to want to know. You got to be searching for it. As T.D. Jakes said he was doing. He was searching out. He was tired of this and tired of that. He just wanted to know what was. And so this is the same thing that each of us have to do. We have to get tired of the jive, get tired of the bull, and want to know some purity, want to know some truth, and start seeking for it. Read what you can, study what you can, pray about stuff that you don't understand, look for understanding. And this is cleansing yourself of the junk, opening your heart to purity where you might be able to reach out and listen to the voice of God calling you into your particular service. That's how I explain that. But anyway, there are other things that we can look at. I was thinking about Puerto Rico. I had seen a commercial on television about generic, which is a generator. And it is supposed to be so handy for situations where electricity goes out or some storm comes along and causes all kinds of problems, and you don't have lights, you don't have the ability to keep your food in your refrigerators or deep freezers, and or it gets hot, you can't run your air conditioner or your heat. But this generator is so necessary, and it does so much to deal with situations such as this. And I'm thinking about in Puerto Rico when the storm came through and did all this devastation, how those generators, that Generac, could have helped all of these people there. So I think that something like this, where the possibilities for a storm to come through and shut things down, maybe all of these homes should be equipped with something similar to that, if not that itself, so that it can protect people when these grids go down. That's what I think. And to me, the Generac was a gift, just like everything else, telephone, the refrigerator itself. All of these things are gifts whereby God sends this message into this world by other individuals so that they can be the tool whereby these advancements can be made. But we have a problem. In order for this to happen the way God wants it to happen, we have to care about one another. We have to say that I am my brother's keeper. We have to say that we do unto others as we have others to do unto us. But we live in a system that says, no, it's about the money. You come in here, you bring a new idea, you can get paid for it. I look at the little kids on Steve Harvey's show. I don't know the name of the show right now. And there are other shows where you see kids can count numbers just like this. They can divide numbers, count them, and spell words from the middle backwards and from backward to the front, just like nothing. Little kids, ladies and gentlemen, who can play pianos and sing songs and stuff. These are gifts that people have come into the world with. They've been nourished at an early age, and even at an early age, they get a chance to emphasize them to the utmost. This is the work of the Lord, not a kid. Kid isn't just brainy and do these kinds of things. That is the power of the spirit of love of that which God has given to this kid to project here amongst us. So we can recognize that it's not the big shot man on the Peel Hill. It's not this man over there at MIT or this or that. It is the Spirit of the Lord. But we substitute that and say we want money. And so because of the need for money to get these things, Puerto Rico doesn't have these things like this, Generac. I'm thinking about something that they said on the April 22nd 60-minute broadcast. They were talking about, I think I made a note, I didn't want to miss this word. They were talking about the Facebook scandal with Zuckerberg and Kogan. And they were talking about how Cambridge Analytica had been abused. And it was only abused because of money. The gift of the internet, the gift of the computers, all of that was from God so that we can be able to use it for all of the things that it is used for, absent the evil stuff, exploitation, which is a result of the money being injected into the program. They also talked about MIT and the Future Factory, whereby you could take the computers and you saw the story and hook up something to your head that messes with your brain so that when your thought process, the brain sends out signals that can go to this, and you can, I'm telling you, where they say you can use the computer just by thinking something, the computer can get that thought, send you the answer, and you can start speaking out just like you know it. Your brain interacting with the computer. Now, this is something else. I mean, this is really something else. They talked about limbs that are being made to replace where a human limb might have been lost, and how the advancement is. These are the kind of things that our Heavenly Father does for us, ladies and gentlemen. This is not some man sitting down so smart he can do these things. No, it's not. The only thing that enables that person to come up with these ideas and to be able to follow through with them is that they are being led by the Spirit. And that Spirit is for the benefit of the human race. We have said that eventually we're going to have computers and we're going to have other animations that will be doing the work that human beings basically do every day. That doesn't mean that human beings are not needed anymore. Human beings definitely are needed if it's nothing to do but be here. But there are so many other things that human beings will be doing. And this is the work of the Father Almighty. Not for somebody sitting up in an organization saying, well, we got what we need now. We can go and kill 1 billion people or 2 billion or 3 billion. We don't need them anymore. That doesn't make it right because people are saying that, but these things do happen because these people, really Americans and humans everywhere, deserve what we're getting because we don't care about one another. And the reason we don't care about one another is because we haven't been taught to care about one another. When we came into the world, we had everything we needed to live a wonderful life. But the first thing we ran into was all of this crazy stuff out here in the environment. All of these lying and cheating and stealing situations of life. We picked that up in our brains. Everything else was covered up. And so the hell that we experience every day is the hell that we deserve. And so if we are tired of these things, if we say we're fed up with it, we can't be looking for the answer in others. We got to look for the answer in ourselves. And that basically means that we got to care about other people. Don't worry about if anybody cares about you. We, as an individual, have to care about other people. And when we as individuals care about other people, we will find out that we all care about one another. But if you're waiting and saying, I'm not going to do it because they don't care about me, you're the one that's the problem. You are the absolute problem. While you're pointing your finger at someone else, you are the problem. And so I'm saying these things to you, even though you won't listen, even though you don't care. The Father understands why you don't care. The Father definitely understands. And still, I sit here and I put this message out before you. And if I post it tonight or tomorrow, 2 weeks or 3 weeks later, I might get 3 views. And those views will probably come from me checking back to see if anybody else has checked in on it. But you know one thing about it, ladies and gentlemen? I'm glad that I'm getting these messages. I'm glad that I can sit down here and say these things to you because I know they're true. I'm glad that it's so true that chances are that the powers that be in America are going to get so upset with me in the fear that maybe one day you might start listening till they might want to end my life. I can't think of any other better way to die in a world that's denied God. Now, in a world where God is respected, I can think of a whole lot of better ways to die, like go to sleep, have a nice, wonderful dream, and stay with the dream and don't come back. That would be wonderful. But that's not the way it usually works. It usually works by some demonic possessed person, the same one that goes into this school with these guns and shoot up kids, the same ones that's in cops that call them to shoot down unarmed black people, the same ones that exploit everything they get a chance to for money will come around with a gun or some poison or something and just cause the old boy all kind of pain to let him know that he was not appreciated. And they are tired of him, but they're not just going to send him out, they're going to make him hurt. Well, whatever it is, I know you're not the power. There is another power, real power. And so I want to thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen, for giving me this your time. What I've said to you might not make too much sense. None of you might appreciate it, but the truth is in it. And if you pay attention with an open heart, you'll get something out of it. So I want to thank you once again. This is Eddie Marcus saying bye bye.